Hi everyone, in this video we will see how to set up CI/CD pipeline for Python web application using GitHub Actions. So this will be the flow. On your local you will code and test your application and then push code to the GitHub. At GitHub action will be triggered and that will take care of uploading latest code to EC2 instance and also triggering the deploy script to update Python dependencies and Nginx. After uploading to EC2 instance, your application will be available on IP address something like this. And each time your code is updated, here latest changes will be reflected. So these are steps. First we will create EC2 instance, then we will update required variables in GitHub environment variable, and then we will add our GitHub actions and deployment script. So first of all, let's go to AWS and create EC2 instance. Let's give it name. And in Amazon machine image, I will select Ubuntu OS. Type, I will select T3K dot micro, and key pair. So I will create new key pair. Here I will say CI/CD v3, and format I will select PEM and download the key pair. I will open the key pair in Notepad, and this we need it. And then under security section, I will create a new security group and allow HTTP protocol, means port number 80. HTTPS we are not going to use, so I will keep it disabled. Also I will enable SSH from anywhere because we are going to do SSH from GitHub Action. Everything else I will leave default and just launch the instance. We'll go back to EC2 dashboard, running instance, and this is the first one. Here we got IP address, so I will copy IP address also. So now we need to update these things in GitHub variables also. So this is host name or EC2 host name. Username, since we are using Ubuntu operating system, so username will be Ubuntu, and this is the SSH key. So let's go to GitHub, and for the repo I'm using this repo. So I will go to settings, secrets and variables, actions, and in actions I need to add repository secret. So this is EC2 host. EC2 host I need to add IP address. I will just add an update. Then I need to add SSH key. So I will copy from beginning RSA private key to end RSA private key and paste it. And another thing which I need to update is username. I had already kept username as Ubuntu, so no need to update. And also you can add your app specific environment variables which you want to keep in .env file of your application. So I had added, since I'm using Langchain application, so I had added OpenAI API key and also env prod. If you are using any more variables, you can just add here. And GitHub Actions will be take care of creating env file out of these variables. So now we are done the first step, creation of EC2 instance, and second step is also done. We had added these variables to GitHub Actions or GitHub. Now let's move on to third step, which is creation of GitHub Actions. So our GitHub Actions reside in .github/workflow folder. So I will create a new folder as .github, and inside .github I will create workflows. So workflows. Here I can keep any name. So I will give deploy.yaml and actions are in YAML format. Basically we can give any name, but for this I will give deploy.yaml, and here I had already uploaded the code in another branch. I will copy it and paste it here. So let's see what we are doing in this deploy.yaml. So this actions get triggered if code is uploaded to any branch, but let's do for this branch only. So if code is uploaded to branch number 16, Python web app. If code is uploaded to this, or some code is pushed to this branch 16 CI/CD Python web app, then this action will be triggered and it will run these steps one by one. So first step is checkout. So current branch will be checked out, and then we had added SSH key and host in our environment variable. So these things will be added to environment of runner. So in runner there is file called .ssh idrsa. There our private key will be added, and in known host IP address of our EC2 will be added. So at time of doing SSH action, it do not ask explicitly for permission. That's why this action is taken, and this action adding private key to this idrsa file is done so that we do not need to explicitly pass the SSH key while doing SSH connection. And this third step is dynamically creating .env file. So for our Python application, we have .env file, something like this. So this section take care of creation of env file, and these variables will be put inside this env file. So I'm putting OpenAI API key, env means prod or development, and EC2 username. This line is actually extra. I can remove it. And one thing you might notice is that I'm putting in env file, not .env file. So for some reason, if I was putting in .env file, then this file was not getting transferred properly to EC2 instance. That's why here I am putting in env file, and then inside EC2 I will convert this file name to .env. So that will be taken care in deployment script. And now when we have env file and IP address of EC2 is whitelisted, in next step we will copy all our files to EC2 instance. So we will use scp command, and this will be username means Ubuntu, this will be IP address, and this thing will be copied to /home/Ubuntu. Here also, if you want, you can use dynamic username. I had hard coded as Ubuntu. If you have some other user like root, you can use root or use some GitHub environment variable. Now once all our code is pushed to EC2 instance, we are triggering our deploy.sh script, this one. And after deployment is done, we will just delete our private key from runner, and yeah, then all actions are completed. Now let's create this script deploy.sh. So this script, this YAML file I had created in GitHub workflows because it's GitHub action, and deploy.sh I will create at root, means where our all this env and server.py files are. So here I will create deploy.sh, which is a bash script, and this is the code for it. So let's go through code line by line. So first of all, we will delete whatever existing code is in this folder, and then we create this repo /bash/ww/langchain app, and then in deploy.yaml we copied all our files to this folder /home/ubuntu. So at this point we are inside that directory, so we are copying all files from /home/ubuntu to this /bash/ww/langchain. Basically we are not copying, we are moving, so files will be removed from this location and they will be pasted at this location. After that we go to this location, and this thing which we talked about, we rename env file to .env, and then we installed we will install python 3 and pip. This thing will run every time, but mainly required for first time only. And after that we install required dependencies, which are listed in this file requirements.txt, which we will create quickly. After that, after installing all dependencies, we will install Nginx, and then we will use Nginx as reverse proxy. So we will define Nginx configuration, and in Nginx configuration we are defining where to proxy the request. So this will be the Unix socket where request will be proxied, and yeah, then we are just activating the Nginx configuration. After that, we will just start the Gunicorn. It will take care of installing our Flask application. Oh yeah, this line is not actually starting. This line will check if there is existing Gunicorn instance and stop it, and this line will delete any socket file if it exists, and then this line will start our application. So we are binding our application to myapp.sock, which will create myapp.sock file there. And here, since my code is in server.py, and inside server.py my Flask instance had name app, that's why here I am doing server in server.py, and inside server.py this is the app instance, and this is what user and group I want to use, and this daemon -daemon flag is passed so that it runs in the background. And once this application starts, Nginx will start using it for all requests whichever come in the port 80. So we are not directly hitting this Gunicorn. Instead, our request will come to Nginx, and Nginx will talk to this Gunicorn. So at every point, Nginx will sit at the front and talk to Gunicorn, and this Gunicorn thing will be never exposed. So now we have GitHub action and deployment script. Only thing remaining is this requirements.txt. So originally I used pip-env, so all my dependencies are inside this pip file. Now I just copied these dependencies from this pip file to this requirements.txt, and I guess these are different dependencies, so I will copy again. Just copy them, and I will remove the version, so latest version will be taken. And here one more dependency is missing, which is Gunicorn. Yeah, that's correct. Now I will save it. So whatever you are using, either pip-env or this virtual env, make sure that you put your dependencies in requirements.txt. Now we have 3 files: GitHub action, deployment script, and requirements. I will commit all these files. So I will give GitHub actions or action added, and just commit. I will stage and then commit and then push to GitHub. Now as soon as I put the code to GitHub, if I go to actions, I can see this action started, GitHub action added, and inside this action we can see all the steps whichever we had added in that GitHub deploy.yaml. So first is a checkout, then SSH key is added to this instance or runner, and also IP address of our EC2 is whitelisted. After that, env file is created, and Then files are copied to remote server, and remote server is here our EC2 instance. And in remote server, now we are running the deploy.sh script. So here we can see deleting old app, creating app folder, moving files to app folder. And this part is, I think, it's apt get update command. And after this, at some point, Nginx will be installed. Before Nginx, I think Python dependencies will be installed. So yeah, these are Python dependencies: Gunicorn, Python dev, Python.env, and all dependencies which we mentioned. So yeah, still it's installing dependencies. After these dependencies, it will install Nginx and update the Nginx configuration, and then just start the Gunicorn. So yeah, it's done with Nginx also. Now it's starting the Gunicorn, and it started also. Now when it is started, I can just copy the IP address, and I will just paste it. Let's inspect. Yeah, application is loading. So this is domain name generator application. I can pass my ideas and it will generate. So let's pass coffee ice cream generate. Spelling is wrong. Yeah, ice cream. Yeah, let's generate. So yeah, it's failing as expected. Now why it's failing, let's see. So here we can see that it's trying to talk to this port localhost instead of this domain name. So since this server is hosted on this IP address, it will, if it try to talk to localhost, it will definitely fail. So it's good opportunity for us to test our CI/CD. Now I will copy the IP address and go back to my templates home.yaml, and here in this part of, this is the part of code which is talking to backend. So here I had hard coded that it talks to localhost. So here I will update IP address and save it. Let's update some more things. Here I will update my domain name generator, and let's add one more thing. We have button somewhere, button. Yeah, this one, generate domain names. Let's add some explanation mark. Call it minor changes. Now, if we go to action, we can see one more action is started, and its name is whatever was name of our commit. This time it will be faster as compared to last time because we have Nginx already installed, all dependencies are already installed, so it will be much quicker as compared to last time. But this time also we can see that it's deleting the old app folder and transferring the new files, and then just checking for dependencies. All dependencies are already satisfied. Yeah, action is done before I described it. Okay, let's refresh and see. Yeah, we can see this is reflecting title. Here button is also reflecting. Now let's see if app also works. So I will call coffee ice cream maybe dry fruits. Let's call generate domain names. So yeah, this time it's talking to correct host name, and here I got 3 results, which is actually result from OpenAI API. Means it's using ChatGPT 3.5 some model. Let's see which model it is using. So I will go to backend.py and OpenAI. So yeah, it's using GPT 3.5 Turbo Instruct. Now one more thing you can do here is that you can take it as homework. So right now we are hard coding the URL here, host name. What you can do, you can modify your bash script to read this IP address from EC2 and then use sed command to update it if you want, or this is also fine. Both are equally fine, but yeah, that would be more better if instead of hard coding here, our deployment script can take care of updating it dynamically. So yeah, this was video on how to create CI/CD for your Python application. And here we did for Flask and Langchain, but it's generic and you can use for any Python application. So I hope you find it helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.